Hello. So this is a very, very special edition of Spuddychan on various things, mainly epilepsy, because today I went to the neurologist, which was super fun. Totally not what I expected, because I thought I was going to go and see the neurologist and have various scans done on my brain, like a CAT scan and an EEG. Turns out it was a 30-minute consultation with the neurologist, which we traveled like 120 kilometers to go to, which thankfully we booked a car to go, because obviously I can't drive at the moment. So that was fine, but then coming back, it was either a three-hour bus journey or €150 cab ride. Kind of went for the latter, but yeah, it's fine. So really, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what happened today. I'm well aware that the quality of this video is terrible, but I'm still in the process of finding a decent place to record, and obviously it's now quite late at night, so I'm upstairs in the office. JP is over there doing some game dev stuff. He promises not to make too much noise or fart too loudly, but let's wait and see what happens. I have also had a Dexter who is still here, but he was like sitting here on the cushion clawing my leg for a while, and then he disappeared. He's just licking himself over there right now. They had a new toy arrive in the post today, which is like a little catnip candy bar thing, which my old cat Dave, who I will talk about at some point, he loved this catnip candy bar. So I found this like catnip toy for like £1 on wish.com, and I bought it for the boys. And Dexter, oh my god, he has just gone crazy for it. He's been like snuggling it and like dribbling all over it and carrying it around, and yeah, it was really embarrassing. Earlier I had a call from the doctor and I didn't realize, but my phone was in my pocket, and yeah, I was saying, Dexter, are you stoned? And I had accidentally answered the phone and spoke to the receptionist. She was like, oh, I thought you were talking to me. And I was like, no, I was talking to my cat. He's just sat there staring at a wall because I've given him drugs. Anyway, yes, let's talk about my trip to the neurologist. So we got up there, and firstly, I went to Zanet Hospital in Benalmádena, which is just before Malaga. So it's quite a way for us to go. It takes quite a while on bus, like I said, and sadly, the first bus of the day wouldn't have got me there in time. So we just like booked a car. We got there and we went into the main building, and it said, firstly, like neuroscience is in the annex building. And then it said it was on the, thinking of the English word, like the basement. So like not the ground floor, but like the floor beneath. So we went down there and it didn't look like it was there. So I asked someone and they were like, oh no, you need to go to the annex building. So you go past the cafeteria and then you go in there. So I was like, okay. So we walked past the cafeteria because she said, es un poco más adelante, which means it's a little further than the cafeteria. So I was like, okay, fine. It turns out it wasn't un poco más adelante, it was actually debajo. It was underneath the cafeteria. So we walked all this way and ended up at the like community hospital, like the council run, the hospital run by the Junta de Andalucía. So we realized that was the wrong place. So we walked back. went down into this very inconspicuous looking door. And yeah, there we go. There's the annex building where they treat rheumatology, they do pediatrics, and there's the neurologist. So I filled in some forms, did a whole bunch of stuff. This is after I'd had to do a whole bunch of calling the doctors and getting the and then the insurance company to make sure I had a letter, because obviously I didn't know what I was in for today. I thought I was going in for something more than what I was. But it turns out it was just a consultation, and to be quite honest, I probably didn't even need to have the letter that they gave me. Although I'm just going to move this a little bit so you can see me looking a bit festive. There we go. So yeah, I filled in all these forms. I showed her the letter, and obviously I'm speaking to her the whole time in Spanish. She sees the letter in English, starts speaking to me in English, and then it's like, no, you speak Spanish. So I was like, see. So I got my little ticket. I went and sat down. We were like 15 minutes early. And yeah, in true un-Spanish fashion, I was in there seeing Dr. Campos at 11:15. I was called in on time. I went in there and yeah, I mean, considering I'd been referred from a hospital in Gibraltar, I figured that it would be done in English. And it kind of wasn't. Like he understands English, but obviously he is Spanish, and his native tongue is Spanish, and it's easier for him to convey himself in Spanish. Now for me, it's the other way around. Like I can do things in Spanish, but if I'm trying to explain something, especially something quite important like seizures and epilepsy, I need to do it in English a little bit. So there was, I explained to him what had happened in the last 3 weeks. There was a lot of rather Gibraltarian sounding English, which I sadly do a lot. Maybe one day you'll hear me actually accidentally do it, but yeah, I try not to. So there's a lot of that and a lot of acting out, like what happened, and like, oh no, I fell, I broke my tooth, and look at this here, and I showed him my scars, which, by the way, I have another one because I had more blood taken today. More on that later. That was to test my sodium valproate level. More to come on that. So yeah, I had a nice chat with him about how long this has been going on and how long it's been since I last had a seizure, what's happened in the last seizures that I've had. And he basically face palmed the entire time. He was like, what drugs are you taking? This is when everything was in Spanish. He was like, what drugs are you taking for your epilepsy? So I said, well, I've been on sodium valproate, 200 milligrams twice a day since 2014. It's recently been put up to 500 milligrams. And he was just like, oh, no. Who gave you this? Who gave you this? And I was like, well, the Gibraltar Health Authority gave this to me. And he was like, no. Did you know, as of this year, this drug is forbidden to prescribe to women of a fertile age under the age of 40? No, I did not know that. I'd had a phone call like a few weeks ago from a doctor saying, it's really, really important that like you understand that like you can't get pregnant if you're taking this drug. It's very difficult, it's very, very bad, very, very bad. And yeah, and now I've picked up my 500 milligram tablets. It's on the packet, it's plastered all over it, like, do not take this if you're pregnant. But yeah, it's just like, he was like, this is like the worst thing. Like, this is a really old drug. There are much more modern drugs that you can take for epilepsy. You should never have been given this in the first place. You definitely shouldn't have had your prescription increased, although I can understand why they did this, considering you hadn't seen a neurologist. Obviously, you're having seizures, you're taking this drug, it needs to be increased because your sodium valproate levels are really low. So I was like, okay, fair enough. He showed me the MRI that I had on Monday, and he said I had a perfect brain. Well, we all know I have a perfect brain. Except apparently I have a benign cyst on the right side of my brain somewhere. I don't know if that means anything, but apparently it's an observation, but it's nothing to be worried about. No, I'm sorry. You tell me I have a benign cyst of 5 millimeters in my brain, I'm gonna get a bit worried. But it's benign, so let's say that. That's other than that, my brain is apparently perfect. So yeah, there were no issues showed up on the MRI. Like I said in my last video, MRIs do not show things to do with epilepsy unless you have a bleed on the brain, you have lesions in various parts of the brain, or if you have some kind of brain damage due to having a seizure, or if you have a head injury, an acquired brain injury due to having a seizure. So it was really no surprise that it came back with nothing on it. I'm not going to lie, I was a little disappointed after traveling all that way to not even have a CAT scan or an EEG. I have been referred to have an EEG, which I will be having on the 7th of February, back at Zanet. So back up to Ben or Madiner in February. So I have to go and do that, and then I have to go back and see Dr. Campos again on the 20th of March. For a follow-up to see how I'm getting on with my new drugs, because I've been taken off sodium valproate because they are evil things and nobody should take them because they're very bad. Especially people who are like me, who are like 32 and they're like a young fertile lady, who may or may not decide to have children at some point. But he was just like, no. Side effects? He's like, let me guess. Have you put on weight? Yes. It can cause havoc with your reproductive system. So I was like, okay, so the fact that I've had surgery for fibroids and cysts and God knows what else, like twice in the past 4 years. He's like, yeah, that's probably down to the sodium valproate. Nobody thought to tell me this before. So yeah, he's like, yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. You shouldn't have these drugs. They're really bad. I'm taking you off them, and I'm sticking you on Keppra. So I am joining the Keppra club, just like my mama. And yeah, so yeah, like I said before, my mum is epileptic. She takes Keppra and carbamazepine. Keppra for the general seizures, like the grand mal seizures, and carbamazepine for the partial and absent seizures. I have to keep a seizure diary of every time I have a major seizure, which is going to be quite difficult to do because I think half the time I don't know I've had them unless I have injured myself in some way or someone's been there to see it. Also, yeah, the partial and absent seizures happen a lot. So I have a feeling this diary will be quite full, and I'm probably going to go the same way as my mum and end up be having the Keppra dialed down a little bit, because holy crap, they're putting me on a lot of Keppra. And I'll probably be put on something like carbamazepine to help control the partial and absent seizures. But here's the thing, right? So I can't just stop taking sodium valproate because that's really bad. Like with most drugs, you can't just stop taking it. It's like with most antidepressants, you can't just stop taking them because it can make the condition worse. So I have to dial down the sodium valproate over a month and take Keppra. So it's Keppra in the morning, sodium valproate at night. And then after a month, I take 500 milligrams of Keppra in the morning, 500 milligrams at night. And then after another month, it's 500 milligrams of Keppra in the morning and 1,000 milligrams, which, if my maths is correct, is a gram of Keppra before I go to bed. Here's the thing with Keppra. I always remember my mum telling me that whatever you do, don't let them put you on Keppra. Don't do it. Don't do Keppra. Keppra bad. But the neurologist has told me that Keppra is one of the newer drugs. It has fewer side effects. The weight gain, not a thing. The danger to your own life and your baby's life if you get pregnant, not a thing. You can still take Keppra if you're pregnant. Obviously, alcohol is not forbidden, but strongly discouraged in excess. I can have like a can of beer every now and then. It's fine. It's like Christmas, birthday. It's fine. But the main thing with Keppra is that it has one quite big side effect, which I'm a little bit worried about. I'm not going to lie, especially considering the other problems that I have, is the Keppra rage. Keppra has a tendency to make you very hostile, aggressive, and angry. I'm hoping that is going to channel itself in a form of me being more assertive, self-confident, and saying what I think, rather than having angry meltdowns and screaming at people around me, because I really don't want to do that. That's not really my style. Not really. But my mum has warned me that mum has Keppra meltdowns. My dad is well aware of it, and he's just like, yeah, he knows that, when mum is on one of her Keppra rages, it's just the drugs. Let her just like get out of the system and crack on. So I'm hoping, and I'm sure that JP will be very understanding with me if I have one of my Keppra rages. Hopefully I won't get them. Hopefully it won't happen. Hopefully it won't be a thing. And everything will be fine. But as with all drugs, there's always going to be side effects, like the sertraline that I take, that definitely has some side effects. Mainly good. I'm not ever hungry. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm never hungry. I'm still eating, but I'm not like starving myself, but I'm not ever really hungry. But yeah, Keppra, I'm a little bit worried, if I'm honest, because obviously I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be having angry outbursts and 1 second. Come here. Ben Becky. I have a visitor. Come. Vincent. Here he is. Here's my baby. Hey. Look at him. Winston, look at the camera. Yeah, look. Oh, he's so pretty. He's such a princess. I love him. Yeah, he's not that interested in the catnip this time. Oh, there we go. He's just gonna sit there. That's nice. Actually, if you look over there. Right there. Oh, he's passed out. Oh, my little drug addict. I love him. He's so stoned. Yeah. So anyway, Kepra's going to be fun. I took my first tablet today. I don't think I feel ragey right now. I feel pretty good. I'm a little bit irritated at the whole having to go all that way, and then okay, I got answers. Also, actually, here's a thing about Keppra that I didn't mention. I am going through my private health insurance that I get with work. 54 euros. 60 Keppra tablets. 54 euros. Are you freaking kidding me? That is ridiculous. That is crazy. And it made me really kind of think about, like, what, people who don't have that kind of money, like, if you have a chronic condition and you can't afford the medication for it, like, I'm thinking, like, people in America who don't have things like the NHS, don't have, like, private health insurance like we do here. I'm guessing, obviously, if I was in the Spanish social insurance system, then it would have been cheaper. But like 54 euros, really, I'm pretty sure I can claim it back on my insurance. But 54 euros, that is a chronic condition. When I spoke to my mum earlier, in the UK, having epilepsy is actually something that exempts you from paying for any prescription whatsoever. So even before my mum turned 60, she was exempt from paying for any prescriptions because she had epilepsy. She also gets a disabled person's rail card because she can't drive. Yeah, because obviously you can't drive. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, what the hell? Like, what do I get out of this here? Like, I've just had to pay 70 euros in a booked car to go up to Benalmadena, 150 euros in a cab to come back, plus 54 euros for my medication. I mean, I'm lucky because I at least have that money there to be able to do that. I don't always. I really don't always, but I'm lucky right now that I do have that money spare, that I can do that, and I can claim back for the medication, and I'm going to ask about the travel. But I mean, seriously, how do people cope with this kind of thing? And and people complain in the UK about, like, oh my god, like, yeah, the NHS is like crap, and oh, I have to wait like a week to see a doctor. Yeah, well, you know what? Like, at least you have like prescriptions that are subsidized for now. Let's wait till Brexit and see what happens there. And you have all these things available to you. Like, I don't get a rail card. I don't get free prescriptions. Granted, if I was going through the Gibraltar Health Authority, my prescriptions would be £2.50 each. But considering the experiences that I've had with the Gibraltar Health Authority, other than the other day when I went to A&E when they were pretty good and patched me up a bit, they were the ones that prescribed me the sodium valproate when they probably shouldn't have done. They were the ones that have never followed up with the epilepsy. They are the ones who put me on quetiapine and mirtazapine, and then I wondered why I put on 30 kilos in like 6 months. Faith not really there, but fair enough. I'll give them that. But yeah, £2.50 prescriptions capped at £7.50 a month, so it's not all bad. But yeah, I just wanted to say that is what happened today. Went to the neurologist. He was really nice, and yeah, I've obviously got my MRI results. I've got my Keppra coming off the sodium valproate. Keppra should help. No more massive seizures since then, so hopefully that will remain the same. And yeah, I'll check in. Obviously, epilepsy wise, no matter what happens, I've got to keep a diary of things. So yeah, let's see. Oh, stared at a wall for 5 minutes today. Was it an absent seizure or was it just me being an idiot? I don't know. I really don't know. I can't tell. Sometimes I don't know if it's an absent seizure or if it's me being tired or just zoning out. Like, I don't know. I'll put it down as an absent seizure. At least that way, it's something I can write down. Oh, look at that kitty. Look at that kitty. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, hello. Oh, he's being friendly. Oh, okay. This is about epilepsy, but let's look at my kitty. This is Winston. Hey, Winston. Oh yeah. Oh, he's licking my hand. Oh, that's nice. Hey, Winnie. Yeah, what's up, baby? Oh, he's real friendly. He's real friendly right now. Oh yeah. Hello. Yeah, you gonna come say hi? No. Okay. No, he's gonna probably lie back down and go back to sleep because I was bothering him. So yeah. So that's all from me for now on epilepsy. There's more to come. Something really, really nasty. Really nasty. You'll love it. Anyway, please like and subscribe to my videos. I'm gonna learn how to post these on Facebook so people can see them. And hopefully I'm getting better at this whole like recording thing, light aside, because I'm not very good at this. But at least I'm wearing clothes this time and my hair is washed, and you might not look it, and I actually got a face today. And look, nearly gone. Nearly back to my original self. And apart from the little blood sample that was taken, the little bruise is going down, so it's all good. So I will say ciao for now, and I will see you soon when I work out how to stop this. Oh, yeah, yeah.